Hi, welcome to the Heart of Illumination. I'm Joseph. Thanks for being here for today's message and transmission. Remember, take what resonates and leave the rest. And specifically for this message, I'd like to talk about the idea of community, as well as, the joy, the beautiful experience, and the beautiful connections as part of a community or a tribe or a family, right? And I'll focus more on a community as the idea of YouTube and my own personal experience of interacting with other creators and their videos, as well as their community and the comments that people leave. And so I know, there are some people that leave negative comments or comments that are hurtful for others. I'm not talking about that. What I've usually encountered, 99.99%, and I subscribe to very specific YouTube channels, people that are in resonance with me, as well as there was an incident of YouTube, accidentally closing another account that I have that I usually watch videos on. Well, it also contributed to guiding me to this specific account, the Heart of Illumination, to be more of a creator versus a consumer of videos and so forth. So it was a gentle nudge from the universe. It's like, okay, we're turning off, right? You watch enough YouTube videos of other creators. It's time to be your own creator and time to contribute your creation, your voice, your energy, your brand of love, support, and uplifting messages and transmission to the world. And so, those words didn't quite come, but it was a gentle nudge and to say, hey, you don't have this account now, and we don't know when you're going to get it back. But you've set up other accounts, like this one specifically, with the gradual intention of stepping out and speaking to people. And I already, and I guess for a month before, I received this name for the channel, the Heart of Illumination, and it was just something that resonated with me. It felt right, it felt aligned, and I couldn't think of any better, more clever, more catchy title, so I'm like, okay, let's just put it in. It resonates with me because my core message involves, one of the pillars is the heart and the wisdom of the heart, and there's a whole rabbit hole of wisdom relating to the heart, the physical heart and how it regulates our body. There's the high heart, we have a heart chakra, and then we have a high heart chakra, and there's the non-physical portion of our heart as well. And there's a lot of deep mysticism relating to the heart and how our soul and how our whole being connects with our heart in this incarnation, in this embodiment. So I'm sure I'll make another video about that. Yet it just deeply resonated with me when the title of the channel came to me. And then illumination, I didn't know that was the right word or not, but it just felt right. And I was playing with the heart of X, Y, and Z, with the heart of various other terms for a while, and this one sit well with me because my Chinese name is actually related to the grand essence and concept of illumination. And again, just the word illumination, yes, we have a definition for it, and maybe there's a couple definitions for it, and we have an idea of what that word symbolizes or the concept means. Yet there's a depth of wisdom related to illumination, and then of course with every wisdom of with every, in a way, like when there are two things, so the yin yang has, two sides, right? There's actually 5 components to the yin yang, or many more components. But to keep it simple, the two that you see, the white and then the black, right? The dark, the light and the dark. And then within the light, the majority portion of the white, there is a black circle. And then also within that big space of the dark or the shadow, there's a small circle that's the light. And so at least those are the 4 visible components of, okay, there's contrast, there's duality, yet when you see the whole image, right, there's an invisible thing, some invisible container, space, holding it all together, and the entire image, right, is just a little curvy wave in between them, right? There's no conflict, there's no war between them. It's a dance. And when you see it move even in 2D, it is a spinning wheel. It is a spinning wheel with those components moving. So at least there are 6 major components of just the yin yang, right? It's dancing in harmony with each other. And even the light, the dark circle within the predominant white space, there's no conflict, right? It's just a black circle in this white space. And it is also dancing within the white space. And so there are 6 components, and there are more perspectives we can look at the yin yang, but just wanted to use that as an analogy of the dance of various aspects and how they're in harmony. And so the heart of illumination, right? So 1 plus 1, it will likely equal 10 or 100 or more, right? So there's an exponential, there's an amplification of heart magic, heart wisdom, heart mysticism with illumination, the art of illumination, the mysticism of illumination, the magic of illumination. And then right when those things are dancing, there's no word for it, right? It's as close to divine as possible, right? So it creates a new divine tapestry from that dance. And so I guess those are the messages that's been coming to me, that's starting to be distilled in these messages and transmission, that will get distilled in my writings, or whatever might come about through writing, through spoken word, through art, through other mediums. I'm just going with the flow, trusting that it'll come through when it needs to come through. So what I've shared is just a small piece of the clarity that I'm receiving of, the greater mission, the greater alignment, and how, in a way, this bigger piece, right, of my body of work called the Heart of Illumination is coming into this reality through me, through this vessel called Joseph, the human being, and it's coming through little by little. It might not get dropped, right, tomorrow as like a holy book, right? It's just coming through little by little. I'm still gonna be human most of the time, yet I tune in as best as I can. I do my work with my alignment and my practices to be as clear as possible, so that I can be with my human in a loving way, right? And have a healthy relationship with my human by going through human stuff, human thoughts, human emotions, human, right, imbalances and so forth, and yet still be connected to this part of me that can channel wisdom, that can channel messages that helps others, that can just be still and peaceful and not be so influenced by these human thoughts, emotions, and energy shifts and so forth, as well as the external world. So, yeah, we're all doing the work at different levels, and that's part of the fun and the game and the whole divine play, right? Divine theater in a way, right? We all came to play a little character, play our role, right? To provide amazing gifts from our persona, right? Embodied persona, right? And have fun in this human reality theater or play. And that's what I'm going to do. And the invitation is for you to continue to, receive messages from me, as well as others that are in resonance with you. And maybe this idea of, the human, earthly theater or play, right? You can call it a drama, or you can call it a comedy show, or you could call it whatever genre that you like. Yet we're all here, right? Playing our character, and yet being deeply connected to our the director of this show, right? The act, right? The main, I guess, celebrity, right? That's kind of behind this person, right? And like a movie, right? Like a movie, you might have a celebrity like Matt Damon playing Will Hunting in Good Will Hunting, right? But yet, Will Hunting is just a character he played in that movie, and then his higher self is Matt Damon in our reality, that knows the script, that knows how it's going to be played out, that when he records the movie and be tuned into this character, Will Hunting, then he fully embodies Will Hunting, and then he's the human in that reality of Good Will Hunting, that world, right? And so, yeah, we all have our celebrity self somewhere in the spirit world playing this person, right? I don't know who so that's our higher self, right? So the key thing is, right, that I'm beginning to feel that, part of my mission is to create a community of like-minded individuals that I'm started to attune to. One of the levels is going to be called the Voices of Awakening. Basically, I'm feeling the collective. I'm noticing various people rising up, speaking their truth. I know there is a whole wave of people that have been going through their inner journey, maybe at times dark night of the soul, maybe at times like super blissful moments, and then they're going through multiple cycles just so that they're preparing themselves to be a part of this wave of the voices of awakening. And so I just wanted to bring that out, and I wanted to connect with that this voices of awakening that you're a part of, or you're aligning to be a part of. It's part of your alignment, whether it's through my community or another community that resonates with you. You're part of this greater Voices of Awakening community and network. And you know how I know that we already have this network in development, and then it'll just mature and evolve over time? Because on what I shared at the beginning of this video, on YouTube, there are already a lot of people, a lot of amazing people, right? Dropping, being very authentic and raw and sharing, some deep things that's been going on in their life, or they had experience in their life, and then something really moved them from someone's video, and then they decided to share a little bit of it. And yet, it's a beautiful moment of vulnerability, of authenticity, of openness, and of expression. But yet, I also realize the community is not quite there yet to support this individual. Yet I also see the beauty of when others, with their heart open, with their, with their alignment intact and in development, also tune into those messages and be like, oh, I've been there, right? And show support however they can. It could be just a brief sentence of empathy. I know what you mean. I've experienced that. Thanks for sharing. It could just be a couple words, right? Like, I'm sorry for your loss, right? If someone had lost someone, a loved one, or they could have been called to share more about their own journey and really empathize with the person that posted a comment originally. And so those two souls, right, at least in that moment in time, shared a piece of themselves through the medium of YouTube comment, and all the people that read the comment, regardless if they like that message or not, regardless if they comment on that or not, are richer for it, right? And all these people that are involved, right? Whether they started writing the comment, they replied to the comment, they just read the comment, they liked the comment, they sent heartfelt prayers to the original person that posted the message, as well as all the people, right? So all of these roles, and then of course there are other roles, but all of these roles are valid, essential, and instrumental to how we're gonna build, create, and expand and evolve this Voices of Awakening network and community going forward. And so it's been already happening, and the more I see, every time I see these exchanges, these people that will probably never meet each other in person, but yet, they didn't just take the time or the effort, right? They opened their heart, and I'm like, and then they tuned into their truth, and they tuned into themselves, and they were able to provide help, support, and love for this person on the other end that they'll never meet. But yet, right, we're already doing these heart-to-heart connections, soul-to-heart connections, soul-to-soul connections through this medium of digital exchange, electronic exchange, right? Online, right? So, this network, this community, this tribe, this Voices of Awakening will only become more elaborate, more supportive, more empowered, and of course, the impact will be exponential, right? It's not just, right? Think of every network that has existed, right? For example, Facebook. Facebook is valuable not because 1 + 1 = 2. It's because 1 + 1 ended up being ended up each person bringing more friends, so that 1 + 1 equals exponentially more, right? So that's the power of network, and we're already informally, implicitly creating these networks, right? And so it's more important that while we're working on ourselves, while we're going through whatever we have to go through in life, the thick and thin, and we continue to work on our alignment and work on opening our heart and all these inner work, yet we're already demonstrating and expressing and being our true selves in these critical moments. Yes, they might not seem like anything big or anything big deal, but yet if you wrote something, just feel into it. You can close your eyes, you can take deep breaths, you can just continue listening to me, but yet feel into the one instance when you read what someone posted after watching a video that resonated with them and you, and then you, right, somehow something moved within you, right? Yes, your mind might have had thoughts, right? You had emotions going through you, but something probably in a way took over and be like, I need to share this from my heart, or I feel the call to send a loving message to this person, or it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna type. I don't know what's gonna come up. I'm just gonna type, and then I might edit the message later, but I'm just gonna do this, right? So any in that spectrum is fine. And then of course, after you wrote it and you replied, regardless if that person replied back, regardless if anybody else liked or replied back in that thread, it didn't matter. You felt complete, you felt fulfilled, and you felt satisfied with that loop. And of course, when someone liked you or another comment in that thread, or commented or added more rawness, right? Other people shared their story, other people just gave support and held space, other people just came in and read and felt the love and the support and the nourishment in that entire thread, even though they didn't feel called to comment or take any action, but they were there. Everyone was there, and they created that entire tapestry of support, of love and support. And of course, no one's gonna see anybody probably, right? Yes, I'm sure we can cover this on another video, right? There are some deep synchronistic things that could happen where some of these people on this thread might end up meeting each other in the future, right? And that could be a whole movie, right? How two people that just message each other on a YouTube thread or on a forum just suddenly meet each other out of the blue, right? And so I want to make sure that I highlight and call out the significance of things that I or you or we might think is mundane or insignificant, and yet they are significant. And then of course, how many of these messages, threads, and these web of support is on YouTube and other forums, right? So we need to cherish this. We need to value the person that we are and the being that we are that contributed to each of these. And then of course, if you were either the main, you were the main person that replied someone's thread, or you were the person that posted a thread that was so deep that it moved other people to engage with it, right? You felt those moments and that entire container more intensely than others. So the invitation is to allow yourself to feel that you're being held by this container or tapestry. Yes, it might right? Our society could say, but it's just a YouTube comment. Or, oh, someone just said thank you, or someone just liked. That doesn't do anything. Well, just like another story, right? A boy walking on the beach every morning, throwing in starfishes that got washed up on the shore, right? Some guy walks by, seeing the boy do this every day, and asks the boy, why is he doing this, right? You know it doesn't matter. You know that the starfish is gonna dry up and die, right? You can't save all the starfishes in the world, right? The boy heard the man, smiled, looked down at his feet, and saw another starfish, just a little tiny one. He picks up the starfish, and he throws it into the water. And he smiles, looks at looks where the starfish lands, looks out into the horizon with the sun setting, looks back at the man with a bright smile, full alignment, full, the radiance of a beautiful kid. Well, it mattered to that one. So your authentic post, your authentic like, your authentic commenting and responding, and your authentic, right, you authentically reading these threads are those moments that matter to someone, to those on that thread, right? It might seem minuscule, but yet just experience it for yourself. Don't take my word for it, experience it for yourself. Or tune in or remember or recall your experience of when this happened, or take a couple days, over the next couple days, and experience it for yourself, right? Either leave a comment, leave a like, I'll do all of those things, right? And see how that feels. It's up to you, and experience it, right? And so that's the invitation. And of course, do it in a balanced and aligned way, right? So don't, just because I say it, don't treat it as doom scrolling and spend all your time just scrolling and not do the things that you need to do, or do things that are in more alignment, right? Take whatever time, right? Just take 15 minutes, right? Be in alignment, check with yourself to be in alignment. And if you're not, take a couple breaths, go and do some of your mindfulness practices, however that gets you to feel aligned and still and centered, and then do this. So I know there's a lot there, and I know I'll go deeper on some of these things that I mentioned. There's so much to cover in life, so much to cover. And of course, if we throw it up, right, you think spirituality is just about all this profound and impactful and mystical things. It's like, nope. A lot of mundane, everyday things, as well as things that we don't notice, they are profound. They are also mystical, and they are super impactful for us, for our growth and development and our alignment. And so that's a lot. Please leave some awesome comments here so that I know what topics you guys want me to cover more in depth, as well as, why not use this specific video and this space underneath, right, the comment, and start some beautiful, loving, common threads that you can experience what I'm saying right now, right here, right now in this space. So until next time.